Hey everyone, fresh morning to all. The first day in the third week of October, we are entering into. This is pre-market outlook session for the date of 13th of October. Based on the previous overall week's performance, our indices have closed with a positive nose and even an increased strength towards making highs and all. For second consecutive week, the Nifty and Sensex closed in a positive manner. After closing this kind of and behavior basis analysis, what telling means, because of the continuous rally or continuous close and all will be happening whenever it is, the retracement kind of activities can be expected like. So in that manner, based on the Nifty's behavior on Fridays, if you take back, the 25,331 was the resistance zone, which has already acted during the month of September. Based on that, we have pronounced that it may be acting as a point of capping the current rally on the Nifty, like we have discussed and even reported in our daily reports. As we have mentioned about 25,330 as a whole, we have discussed that 331 was the resistance zone. You can check it well on the Friday's trend that the Nifty has approached it at 25,330 and closed below to that slightly. And despite of closing above consecutively 25,145 above the range, it has actually garnered the strength or positivity or positive clouds it has surrounded. But a slight retracement kind of activities can be expected whenever this kind of behavior is happening on any instrument, not only for the index. So in that manner only, we are actually telling that the retracement kind of activities based on the global markets trend, which are all supporting to open on a flat to negative way. So we can see in that manner. Why we are telling this retracement with a stressed manner? This kind of retracement should be utilized by the long builders or long focused traders because it may be a good opportunity to enter or accumulate the positions in a cheaper way when compared to the previous week's price actions. Based on that, you can get a better average in prices for your positions. And when compared to the return wise, when compared to the previous target levels, from current zone, what it is coming to give as a entry point with the levels what we have mentioned as support zones and all, one can act or one can activate your long position building. And from there, if you are measure it in a measured way, the long positions based targets would be much higher when compared to the previous week if you would have taken this position. So that and all based on the strategical way of approach we are explaining now to make you all get a sense about prompt exact entry point where you are actually going to make and from where what the benefits it is going to give, like that only we are actually discussing. Based on our weekly market outlook report we have produced, when compared to this week's prediction in the previous week, ended week, we have noted in a phrase itself that the momentum ignites like. Yes, of course, the momentum got ignited and it got even recorded on the chart with the 1%, over 1% of momentum on the broader indices, including. For this particular fresh week, the phrase again we have reiterated that the ignited momentum is expected to continue with a prompt or reasonable pullbacks or retracements. So you can refer to the report for more information about these kind of trend strategies and even levels and all how to approach like. So for the day, the opening would be, as mentioned earlier, flat to negative kind of actions, mirroring the most part of the Asia and Europe which was actually triggered by the US regions in terms of negative movements. So that was actually making India to follow the same. But the shock observed by Indian markets when compared to other region markets is very low or very thin when compared to them. And after opening in a cautious to negative manner, the Indian markets probably will seek buying support until it is getting support or finding support. The momentum on the downside may be continuing. Where we can get identification about the buying actions and all means, yes, it is very simple. Because of the 24,915 is acting as a very core support for the near future. We have even in the previous week also mentioned about this support, but market came around 24,980 plus, and afterwards 25,025 we have mentioned as a immediate support basis level. For that, the 25,025 has been held, and with one point of sharpness breaking 25,025, it has recorded 25,024 as the least low for the entire week ended recently. So because of these particular levels and are acting as a support zones, you also can make these levels for making a clear sense about or clear direction about the market where it is really going to be like. Until it is finding support around 25,025 as a minor one, 24,915 as a major one for the day, one can approach the market. And the long build-ups can be in the way of wait and watch mode. You can apply the strategy and you can enter when the real major support is getting approached by the Nifty. And even in the near support zones of immediate basis support zones of 25,025 also can be utilized, but for the risk takers, one can enter at that zone. Better for the safe traders would be enter around the 25,950 where we have mentioned as support, major support. And for the tactical practices, what it is actually trying to do means a pullback activities or retracement activities, particularly for the purpose of making a buying opportunity. When it can give a buying opportunity or raise a buying opportunity, means it may be, of course, based on the levels we have mentioned, the support zones. While it is nearing to that zones, the buying opportunity would be arising is our prediction. You also can follow the predictions based on the levels we have mentioned. While it is nearing to the support zones, one can actually start initiating the long positions or even accumulate further if you already get. But same for the upside also. The resistance zones really where you are, say for example, if you are finding this or accumulating the positions around 24,915 in advance to that level, it would be better. And the resistance can be placed as 25,025 on an immediate basis. But 25,145 would be the major support zone for the major resistance zone for the Nifty in today's trade. So these are the levels based direction setting tactics we can follow. For these actions and all to be happened on either side, if it is trying to approach the support or trying to approach the resistance points, the sectors particularly we have mentioned here like IT, metal, energy, oil and gas, realty and pharma. These are all the core sectors, and under these large cap oriented stocks can be focused for day trading opportunities, which may be expected to influence in total day's trade by the way of driving the Nifty and Sensex. And from the stock front, the day traders can focus on Tata Capital, which is going to be listed on the bourses after the biggest IPO in the country. And afterwards, this news-based and behavior-based one, like Asian Paints, D-Mart, the Avenue Supermarts, and HCC, Hindustan Construction Company, Lupin, Wari Renewable Technologies, and Phoenix Mill, and NTPC Green Energy. These are all the stocks can be focused by the day traders. From the positional perspective, as long as it is actually holding on daily basis above 25,145, nothing to worry, because it has already given a proof or given a confirmation like consecutively closing 2 days in a row above the level of 25,145. Afterwards, if it is anything happening like retracement kind of activities, means that there is no problem in that, which can be utilized for making a good move in the or making good build up in the longs. So that would be very fruitful return oriented approach if you are doing. Keeping stop loss would be very important, whether it is having direction or not, whether it is giving higher activity or not. It would be better to keep the stop loss to protect your capital as well as to enjoy a good reward over the risk you are taking. So that's it for the day in terms of pre-market outlook discussion. Wishing everyone to have a productive day because the retracement is an opportunity for all. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. Bye-bye.